I went and checked the price on it earlier. I did a little price check, and talk is still cheap. If inflation got a hold of everything, but talk is still cheap. Hey, how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Thanks for joining me for weekly recap. Boy, this is a tough one. I got a split backhaul for a week here, but I don't care. I don't care. As a business owner, you soon realize not everyone has to be a banger. You know, bangers are nice, but ain't every one of them got to be a banger. So, well, let's talk about it. Let's get into it a little bit. What is weekly recap? I'm going to break down my week as an owner operator, truck driver, operating a semi truck in the United States. I run a very fuel efficient operation, or at least I try to keep that idle time down, fuel economy up with my partner's Hotshot Secrets. And I don't talk about my carrier. I'm leased to an 80-20 split carrier. I pull their trailer with no fees, refrigerated freight mostly. If it's not, I'll let you know. And I like to go Minnesota out and back, 12, 1,000 to 1,500 miles, somewhere in there, turn around, come back. That's what I prefer to do with my life. It don't always work out like that, though, so let's talk about it. Last week, we went out. This week starts in Florida. Mm, there you go. There you go. Keeping it real. Little context for you. Uh, we did a back to Florida. And so this is what it is. 2 backhauls. I went from Florida to Chicago, Chicago to Minneapolis, and then I took the rest of the week off, okay? So I want to put that in context real quick, because usually whenever I have a bad week, I get like, a lot of guys that say, "Oh, I make more than you do as a company driver," or "I make more than you as an Uber," or "I make more than you, selling oranges down at the freeway entrance." And I'm not going to hate on you. Congratulations. Just keep in mind, this is like the low end of, what we do as business owners. This is a 4-day week. So keep that in comparison. If you're making more than me, God bless you. I got no hate on it. Life is expensive these days. Make as much as you can. You will hear no hate from me on any of that. Just keep context on, like, whenever I do these things, people, well, I make more than you, no hate on it. If you make more than me, you make more than me. I think people should make a lot of money, especially if you're in trucking, because it's a rough life. It should not be done for cheap. That's just the facts of how I see it. So let's talk about my week here. Started off down in Central Florida. We come up out of Florida, high speed up to Chicago. That load was getting it, and that load was 43,000 pounds of produce, 40 degrees continuous on the temperature there, and that was 93 deadhead miles, 1197 on the loaded miles. 1290 total miles on that load for $2,800. It is what it is. And then we come up out of Chicago. Um, we go Chicago back up to Minnesota. 27,000 pound dry load on that one. 29 deadhead miles, 410 loaded miles for 439 total miles. And that load paid $900. There you go. That was the week. That was the week. I mean, I can't make it any more simpler than that. Let's go over the total numbers. So we brought in 3,700 gross revenue. My 80% of that is 2,960 on the gross 80% that I get. I ran 1,729 all miles, and 122 of that was, excuse me, I wrote that down wrong. 122 of that was deadhead for 1,607 loaded. So probably like 7-8% deadhead. I did not write that down. I'm getting bad about forgetting that. Which brings me over to $2.14 for all miles. Every mile the truck turned was $2.14. So I had one the other day where somebody said I had $2.40 all miles. and they said I was hauling for dry van rates. I'm not trying to justify anything I do in these videos, okay? I just tell you why I did them and what I did, and it's up for you to decide what it is, because I have one guy telling me you're hauling too cheap, and then literally in the same comment section, I have some guy telling me, hey, you're killing it. How are you getting those rates? So I don't know. How do I get them? I just haul what's available. You know, I'm not like a genius trucker or anything. My company has a lot of good connections. I would recommend, you know, if you're going to give a company percentage of your earnings, make sure that they are earning their part of the earnings. I earn my part by operating a truck and doing the work, and they operate, you know, and do their part by, you know, keeping the authority clean, keeping, you know, some trailers on hand for us to use, good trailers. That's a good thing. And then there's other things that they do as well, like, you know, maybe try to go out and find some good customers so we can have some good freight to haul, which helps everybody. So that's just a couple things I think you should look for in a carrier. One that tries to make it better for everybody, I guess, would be a quick way of putting it. Because if they're just there to get your 10 to 20 to 28%, you know, and they're not trying to better your situation in any way, then, you know, you might want to think about that percentage you're giving them. The camera is jarring a little bit like that. I am getting loaded. I am a real truck driver. I have to film these videos when I have time. So forgive that a little bit if you could. And we'll keep going here. 214 all miles, 171 a mile, my 80%, 230 a loaded mile. I was happy with these numbers considering Chicago is what it is here lately. And, you know, we're coming out of Florida. It is produce season in Florida, but when I went there, the rates were already getting beat up because everybody was going down there. Um, so that's what that is. I burnt 600. Well, excuse me. I bought $600 worth of diesel. I bought $600 worth of diesel. I should say I bought it, not what I burned. That's what I bought. I don't keep up with it down to the, you know, the tenth of a gallon and do the math. I just tell you what I bought for the week. Some weeks are up, some weeks are down. I think if you want to become an owner operator and you're using these numbers, it's very realistic to do that, because some weeks you'll burn a little more, and then some weeks you'll fill her up right before you get to the house. You know, so it varies, and that's why I just put down what I bought, because that keeps it realistic. I'll tell you my cost per mile at the end if you're interested in that. So we went $600 worth of diesel to get back up to Minnesota, $23 in reefer fuel. I started out with a very full tank of reefer fuel, and I ran it down with the dry load, and I thought there might be a possibility I won't be getting this trailer back. So I didn't top it off right before I went home because it needed a little work. So I didn't want to drop it on the yard with a full tank. I try to drop it around half or more. That way the next guy's not scrambling. But a few times I've dropped them on the full line and been, you know, get them back on like that half line. So 23 on reefer, $48 on DEF. I bought my DEF at a major truck stop. Normally I get it at this one spot in Wisconsin where I get it for like $2.99 a gallon. So that's why my reefer fuel is high for the week at $48. And I paid a toll, paid $12 in tolls. Everything else I went around. They have total variable costs of $683. We bring over my 80%, which was $29.60. We subtract off that $638 in variable cost. I also that leaves me $22.77. I threw $300 into the maintenance account off of that week for $19.77 left to do what I have to do with. All in all, for me, not a bad week. I think on a 4-day week, I went home for 3 days of the week. So I don't, yeah, for me, if you made more than me this week, then kudos. All I did was drive back from Florida and I went to the house. So I was pretty happy with the numbers considering the geographical paradox I had put myself in Florida. That's what we're gonna call it. When you get in a bad area, call it a hashtag geographical paradox. It sounds better, you know, when you're telling someone, you know, I'm in a crap area. You know, Florida's beautiful. I wasn't in a crap area. I was in a geographical paradox when it comes to hauling freight. Okay. I'm working on being a politician. I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but I've been working on some good politician terms. Um, But anyway, that left me 1977 left to do what I have to do with. And fuel costs for the week, 35 cents a mile fuel cost. Woo-wee. You pair up a good fuel economy on a truck with some Hotshot Secret, and you're playing with the house's money at that point. I always say, use my links down below to buy that. If you want to buy that, buy it by the gallon would be my recommendation. Get the everyday diesel treatment by the gallon. Boy, it's so cheap if you buy it off of their website by the gallon. But that's all I'm gonna say about it. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Start with this one, run this one at first, then switch to the everyday diesel treatment. Buy it by the gallon. You will not regret it. There you go. That's how my life went this week. A very quick, simple little thing there. Like I say, put in the comments you made more money than me if you made more money than me, because everybody likes telling me that. And I don't know if they're trying to get at me with it, because a lot of them say, "Hi, I made more than you." Ha 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 ha. And I say back to them, well, throw me a cash app then, money bags. If you really got it like that, throw your boy cash app. You know what I mean? when you tell them to do that, they did not so much a diss, Because what's that old saying? I went and checked the price on it earlier. I did a little price check, and talk is still cheap. If inflation got a hold of everything, but talk is still cheap. But there it is, guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. Smash that like button for me if you could. Check out all those wonderful links down in that description that are meant to help make you money and save you money, because that's what I do here. That's what I do. I'm just trying to help you make and save money. That is the goal of this channel. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I appreciate you so much. You've been so kind to me. Thank you, thank you. If you're not a subscriber, think about it. I'm out of here. Be good to one another out there, please. And remember, people are more important than trucking. Hi, real quick, I want to talk to you about MyTee products, spelled M-Y-T-E-E. Check out the website for trucking supplies and trucker gear. They got all kind of stuff. They really focus on open deck stuff, but they have stuff for any kind of truck, and I promise you, go check out the website. Lots of chains, straps, toolboxes. Everybody needs toolboxes, things like that, especially for flatbed and car haulers. Check it out. I promise you, you'll like it. Use the link down below when you shop.